So, aloha, Chairman Isla, Hawaiian Homes Commissioners, Deputy Attorney General, and DHHL staff. My name is Pumehana Howard. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Aloha mai kākou. My name is Kamale. This is my makohine, Alicia.
I'm Uncle Jimmy. Naniole, Pampapakolea.
I just turned 19 on the Hua moon of this Malama Ikua, and that is a date that we can recognize because it officially starts our season of Makahiki in a time of Lono. And Lono is not an Akua. I've never heard Lono I Kamalu here, so it's not Lono of peace, but this time is Lono of coordination, because there is a Lono Makaihe, but our ku'e in this time is Kapu Aloha, and so there's no need for that. And now we've put away our ku, and we stand as ku, but ku is power right now. Right now we're gonna call on Lono and bring about the time where we really coordinate and plan what we're gonna do. So with that, with regard to the Mauna Kea access road built illegally by the University of Hawaii in 1968 without permits or written consent from the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, whose land that road is on. Some 60 plus acres of a road included in some 300 plus acres worth of land to be sold for a mere $5 million is a matter that beneficiaries should be made aware of through consultation between the trustees and all Department of Hawaiian Homelands beneficiaries, Oahu, Hawaii, Maui, Molokai. I urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission, especially its chairman, to exercise independence from the state of Hawaii that is focused on the needs of beneficiaries as provided by the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. In particular, I urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission, pursuant to the authority of Section 206 of the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, not to adhere to the position of the governor with regards to his support of TMT as the governor. According to the Constitution, the powers and duties of the governor and the Board of Land and Natural Resources in respect to lands of the state shall not extend to lands having the status of Hawaiian homelands. This also means the governor should not be ordering arrests on Hawaiian homelands nor using DLNR dole care officers for such arrests. Only the Hawaiian Homes Commission can issue such an order and not the chairman independently unless delegated expressly by the Commission, and to my knowledge the Commission has not issued such an order to arrest or delegate such authority to the chair. I further urge that Hawaiian Homes Commission to comply with the trust duties of 1, to protect the trust res the land inventory, and 2, to act in the exclusive interest of beneficiaries as stated by the Hawaii Supreme Court in Ahuna versus Department of Hawaiian Homelands with regards to the Mauna Kea access road. This means the road should not be sold or land exchanged because the Commission's authorization of November 4th, 1994 to approve the general terms and conditions of the road proposal included the qualifying requirements that in the event of non-compliance, including non-payment or all the conditions per any proposal is not fulfilled by the state of Hawaii as agreed, then the Hawaiian Homes Commission, through its Department of Hawaiian Homeland, reserves the right to hold off any release of its claim as to that particular proposal. The state failed to pay $5 million and failed to initiate a land exchange after 24 years. The state's motivation to initiate the land exchange last month does not serve any interests of any beneficiaries and violates their cultural responsibilities to Mauna Kea. Therefore, the Commission should hold off any release of its claim and withhold the transfer of any title to the Mauna Kea access road. Finally, I urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission to 1, engage in meaningful beneficiary consultation as required by the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act relating to land exchanges and pursuant to existing Department of Hawaiian Homelands policy. How can the Commission represent the legitimate interests of beneficiaries with regards to the Mauna Kea access road without consulting them? 2, support legislation in the 2020 legislative session to change the law to establish permanent independent legal counsel for the Hawaiian Homes Commission and the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. There's an inherent conflict of interest whereby the Department of the Attorney General provides legal advice to the Hawaiian Homes Commission and DHHL while simultaneously representing the state of Hawaii. The failure of the current Commission to recognize the conflict and champion the needs of its beneficiaries is clear with regards to the Mauna Kea access road. The Commission's silence on the road issue speaks volumes, as its failure to represent the needs of beneficiaries. All beneficiaries are entitled to accountability. And 3, support legislation in the 2020 legislative session to remedy the conflict of interest in having the governor appoint the commissioners, including the chairman, pursuant to Section 2634 HRS. The Commission's silence in failing to support the beneficiary standing on misappropriated Hawaiian homelands known as the Mauna Kea Access Road appears to support the governor's outspoken support for the TMT project. The new legislation would propose that Hawaiian Homestead Association should be authorized by law to elect or otherwise select their commissioner, or be the ones to provide at least a list of candidates to the governor to select from. My mother is Joanna Howard. She's a Kapanui, also a Kalona. She has family who are leases of Papakolea Hawaiian homesteads on Oahu. My father is of Portuguese descendants who together have about 10 or 11 children. I am half Hawaiian because of my mother, and the day I put my name on that application, I hope that I don't have to wait until I'm 133 years old to finally be able to be put onto the land. And when my siblings put their name on the list, I hope that they're awarded too. And when my cousins put their name on the list, and when my lahui puts their name on the list, I hope that it's not just a name on a paper, and that it's an award. And so, to show you guys, our job as Kanaka, as the survivors of the people who faced genocide, who almost lost all of our Kanaka, it's our responsibility to ensure the keiki of our future, that this Aina is habitable. We do not do a land exchange, and when 16,000 acres are missing from this 200,000 that is needed to be required by the federal agencies that created DHHL, when 16,000 acres are missing and you give us back a portion of Waimea that was taken from Parker Ranch and then given to the US so that they could release their ammunitions, and then our Kanaka are housed over there. What if our keiki is playing in the yard? You know the kind, and then something happens to them. Then what? So, with that, we can forget nothing. But we can move forward with it. Because our kuleana is kapu aloha. O Mauna Kea, kuha'o i kamalie, e yamako kokia i kumauloa no ke aloha aina. As my people, for the waters we will save. Kui ke kapu aloha kanaka ku'e. Started flowing, now we're surging, chanting to them ehu. We celebrate, standing longer than 100 days. Don't act like you don't see us. Marching in the streets in Waikiki, don't act like you don't see us. While we're freezing on the Mauna, don't act like you don't see us. While we're marching in the streets in Waikiki, don't act like you don't see us. Freezing on the Mauna. Made it on Hawaiian homes without the wait list, and not even cause I'm 50%. I made it just cause I was camping on the access road, owned by Department of Hawaiian Homelands. Lava fields, living under mist, chapped lips and sun-kissed. A Kia life for me means that I've got so many reasons to be appreciative and land and love and the balance of actions and convictions. Never a poor man, while another one is in a high-paying position. So don't act like you don't see us while we're marching in the streets in Waikiki. Don't act like you don't see us while I'm freezing on the Mauna, oh Mauna Kea. Kuha'o I kamali e ia mako ko kia I ku mauloa a pauloa I ke aloha aina. Mahalo piha.
Thank you.
And you know, in all respect to you folks, I know you guys' job is hard. I'm going to ask from the bottom of my heart, please dig down deep. You know, for a person like me to come up, and I'm not the person that would come up naturally. I'm shaking over here because this is not me. But this Mauna has awoken something in a lot of us people who do not come forward to stand and shake here and tell you folks what you guys are doing is wrong. We need you to stand behind us. We need you folks to follow what is your duties here, to take care of your beneficiaries, to hear our plea, to answer our call, not the governor. Governor threatened our lives, our family, our kupuna, our kumus, and our kahus on that Mauna. They're doing it all across. You don't allow them to continue. You guys actually have a lot of power. And use it. Use it to help us. Use it to make us a better nation. And we are a nation. We are not us. I want to leave it at that.
Aloha, Chairman Isla, Commission members. Mahalo for your time. I want to also mahalo everyone who came before me to bring up these really important issues. So I was born and raised on Oahu. I spent 19 years of my life there. More recently, I spent 53 days at the Pu'uhonua o Pu'uhuluhulu. Many of us, Kia'i, that's nothing in comparison to the people also who've been fighting for decades for this. So many of us, Kia'i, we've left our goose. We've left the comfort of our homes and the safety of our daily routines, all to do what is pono, to ku'e, for this Mauna. So to discover that this board has a long history of illegally making decisions around Mauna Kea Access Road without consulting the beneficiaries speaks volumes to how little you all value being pono and how much money and foreign entities influence the decisions that are made here. Starting as early as the 60s, this commission decided to allow the University of Hawaii permission to illegally construct this road itself. Then decided that the university's 13 telescopes could all be illegally constructed as well. Now, as recent as July, you all have all decided to allow the same beneficiaries you are meant to protect to be arrested on that same access road. So these obvious displays of broken trust and special interest corrupting this commission urge me to suggest that this board be made independent from the governor's influence of selecting its members, especially when the Hawaiian Home Commission was enacted by federal law, and the governor is only allowed jurisdiction on the state level. I also urge the members of this council be elected by the beneficiaries that you are all meant to be acting solely in the interests of. The people in our community are done being exploited and overlooked in our own homelands. Arla Hui has already made the decision to be Pono and to Ku'e. So I ask this commission, what are you guys going to decide to do? Mahalo piha and malama pono.
Oli Turalde, followed by Chris Emery. Aloha.
Evidence right here, the facts, right there. The people was arrested on Hawaiian homelands. That was illegal. That was unnecessary. All the decisions making that you guys are making for us is unnecessary because they're not benefiting us. They're not benefiting the people of Hawaii, the Hawaiian people, the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries not getting land, getting treated, mistreated, and it's not right. What is going on behind the scenes, whatever you guys hiding, and the thing is, we all just, the people here waiting and waiting and waiting. I mean, how much more people going to die waiting? How much more people going to suffer? I mean, my whole life I come to meetings like this in front of the chair with my dad over there, my grandma, everybody, and nothing getting pushed forward for the Hawaiian people. It's like a standoff. You guys suppressing us for 130 years almost. Full suppression of the Hawaiian race. And I mean, we gotta see us progressing in anything. Nobody getting land awarded. You mean everything just come to a complete halt when it comes to the moving forward of our race. Halt, stop them. No even answer their questions. No even answer their papers. Send them the paper. No nothing. And that's just how it's been going for years and years and years. And it's gotta stop soon. I mean, if you guys here for help us, then you guys can make that happen. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Nathan Evans, followed by Michelle Prevost.
Aloha kako,
Aloha.
tai au manuia, I le alofa maleanga lei o Tangaloalangi. I want to address Chairman Ayla and the members of the board, members of the commission. Yesterday, Sunday, October 20th, marked the 100th day of the Lahui's time on the Mauna. There was a birthday, there was music, there was ceremony and good food. Within the length of those 100 days, 36 arrests have been made, majority of which are DHHL beneficiaries by definition. All faces that carry themselves with kapu aloha. Every day I see them up at camp, whether kupuna, whether makua. This is a disturbing development given the fact that the state has no real jurisdiction on DHHL Aina, bearing in mind that the access road stands on DHHL Aina illegally so as to serve the private interests of corporations and external entities. By definition, everybody but the beneficiaries. My time up on this podium will function as a prayer of reminders. Growing up in Samoa, I'm no stranger to corruption, whether at the village, state, and/or federal level. It has its familiar flavors no matter where I go. Remember, the government authority extends to that of the state level. The Department of Hawaiian Homelands is a federal entity. Oddly enough, the governor has the authority to delineate the 9 seats of the commission board to whom he chooses, a gross failure to adhere to the dynamic between state and federal entities. It would only be pono to allow the DHHL beneficiaries, Kanaka Maoli, na Oiwi o Hawaii, to choose who sits up there and makes decisions on their behalf. The beneficiaries must be reserved the transparency of the board, communication with the people that you work for, because there are more hands in this cookie jar than there should be that aren't the beneficiaries. I just wanted to end there with the last minute that I have. Mahalo for hearing us, and kapu aloha, malo.
Mahalo, Nathan. Michelle Prevost, followed by Kaiulani.
Aloha.
Aloha, Michelle.
My name is Michelle Prevost, and I am a protector of Mauna Kea. I was arrested on Mauna Kea 4 years ago, and I will do so again if necessary. Do you know how much the Hawaiians love their aina? I am here to support the Hawaiians. They have made it crystal clear they will not support the TMT. So please, listen to them, honor them. They are the protectors of the aina from ocean to Mauna. So far, you have not listened. That's why the kiahi are on the Mauna. For once, do not let big corporation greed win. It's not Pono, and you know this in your hearts. No more illegal arrests on Mauna Kea Access Road. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Michelle. Kaiulani, Alameda, and followed by Bokahui.
Aloha, Chairman Aila, Hawaiian Homes Commissioners, Deputy Attorney General, and DHHL staff. My name is Kame'anani Okalani Blackman. I'm not a beneficiary of the Hawaiian Homelands Trust due to the racist blood quantum laws designed to further displace Kanaka Maoli from our aina. I am, however, a Kanaka Maoli, and I am a resident of the state of Hawaii, and I support the following positions in which the beneficiaries have requested my support, in which you have a fiduciary responsibility to act. So I urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission, especially its chairman, to exercise independence from the state of Hawaii that is focused on the needs of beneficiaries as provided by the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. In particular, I urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission, pursuant to the authority of Section 206 of the HHCA, not to adhere to the positions of the governor with regards to its support of TMT, as the governor does not seem to understand that. And I reiterate what Sis said earlier with her beautiful testimony and her song, that the powers and duties of the governor and the Board of Land and Natural Resources in respect to the lands of the state shall not extend to lands having the status of Hawaiian homelands. This also means the governor should not be ordering arrests on Hawaiian homelands, nor using DLNR adult care officers for such arrests. Only the Hawaiian Homes Commission can issue such an order, and not the chairman acting independently, unless delegated expressly by the commission. To my knowledge, the commission has not issued such an order to arrest or delegated such authority to the chair. I further urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission to comply with its trust duties, to protect the trust, our land inventory, to act in the exclusive interests of beneficiaries as stated by the Hawaiian Supreme Court in Ahuna versus Department of Hawaiian Homelands. With regards to the Mauna Kea Access Road, this means the road should not be sold or land exchanged because this commission's authorization of November 4th, 1994 to approve the general terms and conditions of the road and highways proposal included the qualifying requirements that in the event of non-compliance, including non-payment, or all the conditions per any proposal is not fulfilled by the state of Hawaii as agreed, then the HHC through its DHHL reserves the right to hold off any release of its claim as to that particular proposal. This cannot be said enough. The state failed to pay $5 million and failed to initiate a land exchange after 24 years. The state's motivation to initiate the land exchange last month does not serve the interests of beneficiaries and violates our cultural responsibilities to Mauna Kea. Therefore, the Commission should hold off any release of its claims and withhold the transfer of any title to the Mauna Kea Access Road. Finally, I urge the Hawaiian Homes Commission to engage in a meaningful beneficiary consultation as required by the HCCA relating to land exchange and pursuant to existing DHHL policy. How can the Commission represent the legitimate interest of beneficiaries with regard to the Mauna Kea Access Road without consulting them? Support legislation. Number 2, support legislation in the 2020 legislative session to change the law to establish permanent independent legal counsel for the Hawaiian Homes Commission and the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. There is an inherent conflict of interest whereby the Department of the Attorney General provides legal access advice to the HHC and DHHL while simultaneously representing the state of Hawaii. The failure of the current commission to recognize the conflict and champion the needs of its beneficiaries is clear with regards to the Mauna Kea Access Road. The commission's silence on all the road issues speaks volumes as its failure to represent beneficiary needs, and all beneficiaries are entitled to accountability. 3, support legislation in the 2020 legislative session to remedy the conflict of interest in having the governor appoint the commissioners, including the chairman pursuant to section 26-34 HRS. The commission's silence in failing to support the beneficiaries standing on misappropriated Hawaiian homelands known as Mauna Kea Access Road appears to support the governor's outspoken support for the TMT project. The new legislation would propose that Hawaiian homestead associations should be authorized by law to elect or otherwise select their commissioner or be the ones to provide a list of candidates to the governor to select from.
I'm going to ask you
Mahalo
to
for the
wrap up.
opportunity to testify on this matter.
Thank you.
The commission has a duty to act and it must no longer remain silent. It must consult beneficiaries and not allow the chair to act independent of our interest, which is the basis for Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. If this body is not capable of action, I suggest new leadership is needed. Mahalo and kukia i mauna.